Our next VirtualPreneur Summit speaker is a Filipino serial virtualpreneur. He is the co-founder and CEO of Bookgini, a tech startup based in Singapore, co-founder of Inc. Shared Solutions Incorporated, an outsourcing company based in the Philippines, and co-founder of Stratton Press Inc., an online publishing company based in the United States. This person is a person very known to me because we've met a couple of times already, and I really appreciate this person, how he's able to really move his people to action. Virtualpreneurs, we're excited to have in our summit, Aaron Dancel. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, Ruben. Thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you very much for trusting the summit and for giving us time to really tinkle your mind and for you to be able to share some insights and hopes to our audience.
Of
Now,
course, no problem.
So how's your business currently in light of COVID-19 outbreak?
Well, the business right now, we're trying to save it, guys. I mean, I think all businesses right now is affected. No one is spared right now. Okay, so I know if you're listening to this to this summit right now, don't worry, you're not alone. Okay, I think that's the first message I wanna put up out there. Don't worry, you're not alone, and everyone's affected right now. We just have to ride through this. Okay, yeah.
So how are you? How is your teams responding to this outbreak?
Okay. Well, first of all, I wanna introduce my business again. So I hold
Sure.
a BPO company, an outsourcing company here in Cebu. So if you have outsourcing needs, I have to advertise. We've been okay.
Sure, no
Yeah,
problem.
outsourcing needs, just call us or email us. It's Inc. Shared Solutions Incorporated, and of course, we also have an online publishing company in the U.S. and of course, Bookgini, our first startup tech company in Singapore. How it's affecting us is massive, man. I mean, what's happening right now? This is bigger, I think, than what has happened in 9/11 in 2008, and
Yeah.
the web bubble back in 2001, I think, or 1998. I don't know, but this is massive right now, and how we're coping up with it is that we're basically, it's a very hard scale to balance between what the government wants, what your employee wants, what your clients want, and what you want. It's a very hard scale to balance. And a scale only has two sides supposedly, but this one has five, I think,
4 or 5, yeah.
or five sides. Yeah, so it's very hard. So what we're doing right now, Ruben, is we're basically following the mandates given to us by the local government. Okay, because of course, safety will always come first, and we don't want to be, a bunch of folks still trying to do business when the government tells you not to do business anymore. The good thing about our industry, however, specifically in Cebu, excuse me, specifically in Cebu, is that the government's pretty lenient on BPOs. Okay, and because I think the reason for that is, we donate the biggest taxes in the city. Um, uh, but how we're doing it right now is yesterday we basically sent everyone in our morning shift on a work from home protocol. Okay, so we're doing it on a work from home protocol. Although we weren't prepared for work from home because we never saw this coming. But as an entrepreneur, you have to adjust to what's coming to you, right? That's also the reason why, sometimes planning in your business doesn't work, because a few outside factors like this will come and you have to adjust as an entrepreneur. So we sent everyone in the entire morning shift to work from home. And the night shift, we're going to be providing some food, some shelter. Well, not shelter, but beds, basically, for those people who don't want to go home. And aside from that, we're giving, an auto approved for leaves and sick leaves. So if they want to use their sick leaves and, vacation leaves, will automatically approve it without any question. Um, how this is affecting our business, however, I mean, our customers or our clients. Well, the good news is that um, our industry, the BPO industry, we've had some concerns with several of our clients whether we're still operating or not, because they've heard a lot of news from from BBC or from New York Times that everything's shutting down here. um, I'm basically around the clock with calls, with some of these clients, and then assuring them
Clients.
that, yeah, assuring them that assuring them that we're still okay, we're still operating, although skeletal operation, but we're still operating and we're still good. And I guess I consider myself lucky too, because most of our clients have been very considerate, and I haven't really heard the word withdrawal from the contract, something like that. They've been very considerate. Our industry is, I guess, somewhat, maybe protected. We still don't know, because we still have this week and next week to really figure out if this has affected us directly. I know the physical businesses like restaurants and salons and spas have been badly hit already. Um, I guess I just consider myself lucky in a bit that the BPO has been, the government has been very friendly with BPOs. Yeah, so that's the current situation right now. And this thing has just gone crazy, man. I mean, this is the first time in in my life as an entrepreneur where you sit down with your management team or your executives, and you actually talk about letting go of people, which is the hardest part, you know.
True, true.
um, but and I personally talk to them. You, as an entrepreneur, you have to talk to your people. If things go bad, you have to be the one to tell them. If things are good, then you have to be the one to tell them too. But for the most part, you have to be the one to tell them when things are really really bad like this. So, but I talked to my people, and I told them, I had them understand that everyone's being affected by this. The priority right now, my priority right now, is to really save the ship, so that if you're being laid off right now, um, it doesn't mean that I don't want to work with you anymore. It doesn't mean that you did not do a good job, the past few months or the past few years. It doesn't mean that. It just means that my priority right now is to save this ship, so that once this COVID-19 scare and fear and goes out of the window already, I would still have the ship to bring you back if you still want to work for us, right?
True,
and
true.
and I think that's more important than we have to make sure that the ship stays on, and
Yes.
everyone is paid. So if you're listening to this summit right now and you still have a job, I think it's a very important message for you now, to that you are one of the lucky ones, to still have the job. So let's be grateful for that.
Now, with COVID-19 outbreak in our way already, is it challenging you to change the way you're doing business, or is it still the same, or are you refining other process?
Well, good question. With disaster, what the saying goes, with disaster comes realizations. And the beauty about COVID-19, I guess, at least on my end, as the one leading the entire company, is that you get to realize your flaws, right? So you get to examine yourself as to what could have been done better if this thing came up. And mind you, Ruben, this is I sent a letter to my employees, I think way back October last year, and I told them that, hey, I think a recession is coming, because I've always watched how the U.S. market goes. I think a recession is coming sometime this year or early next year, something like that. And
True, true.
boom, COVID-19 came in. We didn't expect it to be this way. We thought it was going to be some banks again defaulting, but
Just
essentially,
way faster.
yeah, just way faster, man. Essentially, we prepared. As an entrepreneur, you always have to be prepared. You have to be prepared when the time comes that you will need to draw more cash. Okay, cash
True.
is very, very important so that you could get by, you could ride through this. And as an entrepreneur, right now, if you don't even have the option of cash, you have to start making the tough decisions. Okay, the tough decisions would include letting go of some people to ensure that the business will still last for a few months or for a year or two. The tough decision to uh, let the people go on a floating status because the client is kind of not paying yet. So these are
Mm-hmm.
really tough decisions for entrepreneurs, because as entrepreneurs, generally we want to provide employment, right? We want to
True.
provide employment, and we want to provide a living to our people. We want to give them a living. So telling them in the face that, hey, we have to let you go right now, this is really hard. So there's only two options right now. It's either you have the cash to ride through this wave of COVID-19. Okay, it's either you have the cash to ride through this wave of COVID-19 until this is over. Okay, or number two, um, you have to start making the tough decisions. Okay, and you have to stop the bleeding, start making the tough decisions, and you will survive this. You will really
Mm-hmm.
survive this. If you don't do any of those, okay, if you don't do any of the two, I think some will be very lucky to still go over COVID-19 with their
Mm-hmm.
businesses, but it's gonna be ugly. Trust me, it's gonna be ugly if you don't do any
Yes.
of the two.
Even us, we're trying to project that this COVID-19 will really last for about at least 3 months. With the
Mm,
way things are going, with the pace that's been addressed, it
yeah.
will really last minimum of around 3 months.
Did you see the New York Times released a report the other day?
Mm-hmm.
This was a report for the U.S. how the U.S. will combat COVID-19, and the
Mm-hmm.
report is very thick, and I haven't read the entire report honestly. Okay, but the gist of the report from New York Times says that the U.S. government thinks, okay, the U.S. government thinks this will
Thanks.
last, yeah, for 18 months. Okay, and
Yeah.
it's gonna come with wave after wave. The first wave, it will be over, and then another second wave will be coming in. I don't know how they write those reports, but that report is pretty scary, knowing that this will last 18 months. If
Mm-hmm.
that happens to the Philippines, we would not have an economy anymore.
True.
There'd
True.
be chaos, and it's very important that entrepreneurs realize this, because if you think about it, if you only think like, maybe this will be over next week, you have to think about the worst case scenario. Don't think that this will be over next week. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be a pessimist. I'm probably gonna have a lot of hate with this, but
Mm-hmm.
um, my point of view right now, Ruben, is that if we can develop a vaccine like tomorrow, and we can be in our normal, routines again on Monday, that's the best case scenario for me. Okay,
True.
I want that too. Okay, I want that
Mm-hmm.
too. But then again, as an entrepreneur, you have to think like, this. You have to start thinking right now and making the tough decisions as to how can my business survive this, or how can
Strive.
my business, yeah, strive this. And you have to make those tough calls, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I have the main reason that we really had this summit is I had so many friends, startup friends, local businesses owners who are already affected by this. Offices down, spa closed, restaurants closed, and even to the point of really taking off all of their employees, around the thousands of them. In your point of view, with all of this, what do you think should be their what's your suggested plan of action to be able to survive this?
Okay. As far as the physical businesses is concerned, okay, because I have a couple of friends too who owns restaurants, maybe one or
Mm,
two restaurants in Cebu, and man, he's every day what he's doing right now, he's drinking his ass off until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, um, and I understand him, and most of the employees normally won't have sympathy on you, right? Because they
true.
they couldn't understand you, and That's the saddest part of it. And
At some point, they won't even thank you for the things that you've done for them.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So don't expect that. That's why when when you told me about this summit, and I told them, hey, this might be a chance to inspire other guys like me. You know, aside from
Mm-hmm.
my friend who owns a restaurant who just keeps drinking, you know, until 3 a.m. in the morning right now because the restaurant is closed. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess to answer your question is that uh, as far as the physical business is concerned, I think you have to make the tough call on this one right now because um, uh, the tough call meaning you have to do a temporary closure, okay, and it has to be that. I hope you saved up a couple of money for your family and for your expenses, but uh, the best way for physical businesses right now to still survive and ride this wave over is to really do a temporary closure. There's no other way. It's a simple way, but it's a tough way.
True.
And it's a simple decision, but it's a tough decision for physical businesses. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because right now, Ruben, my fear right now is not just, you know, I still go to work every night. I still go to the office, and you know my family is asking me, you're crazy, why are you risking all of this? You're risking your kids, you're risking, you know, things like that. And you see, my point of view right now, Ruben, is I'm not afraid to get sick with COVID-19, honestly, because the mortality rate in my age, you know, it's not that high because I would definitely recover, right?
True.
I'm not afraid of that. My scary thing right now, honestly, is that people are not spending. That's the scariest thing.
Mhm.
People are literally just staying at home and not spending on restaurants, not going to the spa because of
True.
this fear. And if your business involves, you know, leisure like a spa or a restaurant, the best thing to do, man, is
Mhm.
to really do a temporary shutdown until the point that people would be comfortable spending again. If you see outside and people, you know, are starting to go to the malls again and starting spending again, then that'll be the time that, you know, you can open up again. Okay.
Mhm.
And I guess that's now for the people, of course, who are just doing their virtual a virtual thing. For me, my business is kind of hybrid. We're both virtual and physical because we're a BPO, mostly. So we're
Mhm.
both virtual and physical. um, on my end, it's important to, you know, to just really continue on. And if your business is shut down right now and you're at home and your spa's not working, the next time you open your business or the day you open your business again, you need to adapt. You need to go digital already with your business. Okay, this is
True.
very very important because you cannot keep a business to not be digitalized. Okay,
Mhm.
call Ruben up. You tell him, Ruben, you help me to get my business go digital. Okay, Ruben knows a lot of social media tactics. Ruben has a lot of experience with going digital. Every business should be digital right now. No business should not be digital, okay? Because it just if something like this would happen again 5 years, 10 years down the road, you'd be better off because you also have a digital business line. For example, if you have a spa, for example, right? So if you have a spa, for example, well, a
Mhm.
spa is a bad example because it's very hard to put it up on digital, right? But
Mhm.
you can
Correct.
collaborate with other businesses. That's the beauty about it, right? So if you have, for example, a restaurant that was closed out by COVID-19, um, the beauty about it, if you still have the digital part of it, if you still have the social media, or if you still have the website, you can literally still continue to sell the food that you have in your restaurant, right? So if you have a
Mhm.
website up, you have a social media up, you have your menu on that website and on that social media, you can literally still have the chefs cook the food and have them deliver it to these people, right? You still have a
Mhm.
business. So the next time you open your businesses, make sure you adapt digitalization of some sort in your
Mhm.
business. You know, you can think about it or you can ask Ruben to help you.
Mhm. So it's no longer an option. It is already essential that every business, even local ones, that they should be online, digital.
That's
Right.
true. And I want to hear I want them to know that I'm not getting any commission from you, Ruben. Okay, I'm not
Sure.
getting paid by this guys. Okay, just to be clear on that. But even if you don't call up Ruben, find someone who knows how to transform your business into digital at some point. Well, not 100% digital. At least have a
Mm.
presence online.
Just to give context to this, Aaron started his business without any budget but some digital assets. I think Aaron, you should tell that story again to our audience so that they may it's be able to inspire on how to do things.
Sure. That's very true. And I think I told you this story also before. When I first started, I was an employee for, I think, 15 years. I'm not sure. I can't count anymore. I've been an employee so long that I'm an employee so long that I couldn't count. I'm normally in the BPO business. I don't have a college degree. I took up accounting in USJR, but I'm a dropout, okay, but I'm not some Bill Gates type, okay, don't worry. But I'm a dropout, but basically, what it is, how I started my business is that I followed the system, okay, because I was working for this BPO in Cebu before, and was one of the top management levels, and I was exposed to their system, and I told myself that, hey, maybe this system can work for me too,
Mm,
and then after a while, I started to put up my own website. That's my first
mm,
digital asset. I literally just put up a website, and I literally just fixed my LinkedIn profile before. Okay. Right now, my LinkedIn's a mess, but my LinkedIn profile before was the first thing that was very important for me. I spent 12 hours, 8 hours to 12 hours in LinkedIn every day to get those clients, okay,
mm,
and to show them, to lead them to our website. After we lead them into the funnel, I try to close them by calling them up late at night. Of course, since they're international, and calling them through Skype. So you see, guys, and that's how we started. And until it snowballed, we grew the clientele, we grew businesses, we attracted a few investors along the way.
mm,
And but we basically started with a digital asset, which is a website, a Skype account, and a LinkedIn. Okay.
mm,
And I didn't even have any knowledge in social media back then. I just
mm.
knew that LinkedIn can get me some leads and some clients, and that was what's important.
Now, we have lots of friends who are also entrepreneurs, local business owners who are already in their own homes, just waiting for COVID to be lifted up. And since there's just staying at home, what do you think should be the best way they can use the best way that they can the best use of their time to be able to maximize while waiting for the lifting, the quarantine or the lockdown?
Well, for me, I think the best thing that you guys will do, if you're just waiting for the quarantine to be lifted, is to continue learning. Of course, I know it sounds kind of BS, but trust me, as an entrepreneur, the best way for you to improve your business is to improve yourself, improve your learning. So you could read a book maybe, or get to know how being virtual really means. Like,
Mm,
know how social media works, know how YouTube does its algorithms, something like that. I think it's best if you continue to learn, despite the COVID cases outside. I think it's best for you not to worry much about it, because there's really nothing much you can do about it. Okay. So I think what's important right now is to continue to develop yourself, and train yourself while you're at home. Okay. Learn these things. You have to learn social media. You have to learn,
mm,
advertising, or Facebook or Twitter,
true.
things like that. It's very important for you to learn that as an entrepreneur, because especially if you're in this millennia where the information is transferred so fast from one person to another, you could literally ask anything out on the website right now called Google.
Mm,
So it's very important for you to also have that type of mindset that, hey,
mm,
times are changing really fast. As an entrepreneur, although I'm stuck at home right now, I have to continue learning. I have to continue learning. So I think that's the best advice that I can give them right now. I'm personally learning too because I don't have to spend a lot of time in the office right now. Now I'm learning too. I've enrolled to some courses, and it's all good. It's all good, guys. Keep improving
Maybe you
yourself.
want to share about the thing that you're doing right now, side hustle, doing YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, just for the information of all those who are listening to this podcast, uh, Aaron is the CEO of 3 companies, but aside from that, he's also doing some side hustle, understanding the algorithm of YouTube.
Okay, this is very, very interesting, Ruben, because this actually I was really interested with YouTube. I just didn't have the time, you see. I didn't have the time to figure out YouTube's algorithm. And then, so I started researching on my own. When the quarantine came, I think, even before the quarantine came, when COVID-19 issue hit Manila, I had to fly back to Cebu right away. So when COVID-19 issue hit Manila, and then we were told that there might be a quarantine in Cebu also, I started exploring what YouTube does and what's the algorithm like on YouTube. So I started listening to basically YouTube tutorials on YouTube, things like that. So, and I wanted to figure it out myself. So the fastest way, you see, I'm not a video editor. I'm not an expert at video editing or things like that. But I learned that there was actually an editing software inside YouTube.
Inside
Right?
YouTube. True.
I mean, I was amazed at the things that I discovered because I said, this is amazing. And what this means for you as an entrepreneur or as someone thinking of jumping into YouTubing or becoming an influencer is that you can literally make money out of anything right now, right?
Mm.
People do vlogs and make a lot of money with it. What's up with that, man? Okay. So it's really digital. So it's very, very interesting. So I decided when Cebu told when the governor of Cebu, Gwen, told us that, hey, there's gonna be a quarantine, so you have to follow these rules, things like that. So I started spending a lot of time at home. So what I did is that I want you to know a little bit of my background. Is I've always been a gamer. Okay, I did World of Warcraft before, really hardcore World of Warcraft things. So that's why I like Peng Joon because he does World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've been an avid gamer. So what I did is I have this game on my phone right now, and I said, hey, why don't I start a gaming channel? Because why a gaming channel? Because I get bored at home. I play these games, and then at the same time, I created guides for these games. So I wanted a gaming channel because the video editing is really simple. It's basically just cut and paste. It's very, very simple. You don't need transitions like a vlog. You don't need, things like that. So I started a gaming channel, and then after 28 days, I am almost monetized right now. You can look it up, and you can hear my voice. You can
Yeah.
look up on YouTube. You can look up One Man Army World of Dragoness. You can look it up, and you will see that I have more than 700 followers now, or subscribers. That is, where in YouTube, and I think more than 35,000 views. The beauty about YouTube is that I was shocked when I saw the analytics that people are
Mhm.
actually watching my videos, and my videos are so amateur and are so not edited, but they're actually watching my videos. And what's interesting is that it's not only the Philippines that watch it. I saw in the analytics that there was Indonesia, there was Malaysia, there was Singapore. These people are playing on the same game. And, you know, I think I might make, a gaming channel out of this, like Alodia and all the other gaming guys, right?
Uh,
But I wish I had more time.
uh,
But the experiment proved
True.
to be very, very successful. And right now, as I'm talking to you right now, I can check right now on YouTube. There's another subscriber that just subscribed to my channel. I have close to 800 already. Okay, and how if you're familiar with
Followers.
how YouTube
How many
money,
weeks? How many weeks? How many
this
weeks were you building this?
this is this is the third week. So this is within
Wow,
3
it's
weeks.
impressive. Yeah.
it is impressive. It is pretty impressive because, yeah, and these are the type of skills that you can learn right now and you can do as a side hustle. If you have a restaurant business, maybe you can talk about more. You can be an influencer for about food, or you can be, if you're in the real estate business, you can be, you can start a podcast or a daily vlog about, you become the mayor, if you were the mayor of Cebu City, something like that, just so people would know
What did
that,
you do?
yeah, just so people would know that you're actually an expert in your field and you know your field. I think it's important that you do that now, especially if your business is reliant on people going to you because they trust you, like real estate, for example, or a lot of other businesses also. So it's important for you to really establish your online presence. And I urge you to do this experiment too. Maybe not on YouTube, maybe on Facebook. Just try and see how this digital thing really works. And I can assure you, you will be surprised with enough studying and enough research and enough effort. You'll be surprised at how
Mhm.
far your business will go.
There's so much to learn after all in the time that we have.
That's
Correct.
that's true. That's true.
So, last words for all those local and small business owners out there who's listening to this podcast.
Last words, for local business owners, guys. I know what your situation is right now. Me and Ruben. That's why I was so happy when he got this summit up on my wall. I immediately applied, for speakership, because it's my chance to share the inspiration with you guys. Last words for the entrepreneurs out there, the employers, the unsung heroes right now,
Mhm.
because in the scene right now, there's just the government and the people, right? And we don't get a lot of sympathy from our employees, and sometimes the government doesn't give us a lot of sympathy. But I want you to know that we're on the same ship right now, okay? And we're on the same thing, that we're experiencing the same thing. You're not alone. Your situation is not unique to yourself, okay? I don't
Mhm.
want you to think that this is only happening to you, okay? Because that will boil up a lot of depression inside you. Don't be depressed, okay? A lot of entrepreneurs listening to the summit right now is basically experiencing maybe not 100% the things that you're experiencing right now, okay?
Mhm.
So don't lose hope. If you did need someone to talk to, okay, message me on my messenger. We can have a beer or so, as long as you're
Yes.
buying,
So
we
I'll be
can.
leaving all of Aaron's details below this video or any parts of this video so
Yeah,
that you
so
can contact Aaron. Yeah.
yeah, we can have a beer or two, maybe for just a few minutes, because I'm still
Virtual beer.
virtual beer, maybe. Yeah. And I want to send out a message too to the employed right now who's listening to this summit. And it's very important that, if you have a job right now, if you still have a job right now, I want you, to really think about how you can start to drive revenue from your current company. Okay, you have to start putting yourself in the revenue line, because you have to, start to really help out. Because if you have a job right now, it means that you're one of the lucky ones who still has it. Okay, and you have to value that. You have to learn how, from this day on, from this summit on, it has to be, how can I add value to my company right now, who still trust me that I can do this job. Okay, because I'm telling you right now, it's pretty ugly in some parts of my companies right now. And it's not a pretty picture. So for those who don't have a job, or unfortunately doesn't have a job anymore, I think the first goal is whether you want to be an entrepreneur now, or you want to find another job. It's all up to you, okay? But know this: I'm pretty sure that the employer who lets you go, still wants you back when this is all over. I'm 80% sure of it, okay? Because don't hate on him, don't hate on your employer or anything like that, okay? now is not the time to hate right now. It's a, you know, it's a bad time to hate. So those are the last words. And I think, Ruben, pretty much, if the good thing about COVID-19 for the entrepreneurs listening is that the good thing about COVID-19 is that if you can ride this wave, if you can go through this, it means that you've set up a really successful system in your business. And that's important. This is validation for you that your system actually is
Works.
recession proof. It's recession proof. So this is the validation. So like what we're doing right now, we're trying to validate that. We're adjusting several parts of our businesses to make it as recession proof as possible. And that, my friends, is going to be a big victory on your end if you can ride this COVID-19 out.
Wow. Thank you, Aaron, for that inspiring and insightful words. I hope the priceless tips and strategies we've learned from Aaron can move us through these hard times. Daghang salamat, Aaron.
Salamat, bye. Thank you for having me.
Virtualpreneurs, live the great life.